Hi Cancer, third time's a charm, because apparently I can't record your video properly today. But welcome to your July tarot reading. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, my name is JJ, and I'm glad to be outside because the weather is awesome and has been amazing for the past week and a half. But until today was actually too warm to sit outside, and so I reserved those hours for tanning session, because why not? Anyway, you guys, I hope everyone's been doing well. Your cards have been semi-shuffled a number of times before getting here, but I didn't actually draw any cards. But what did I want to say? Cancer, your birthday is coming up soon, so let me also take this time to wish you all a happy birthday for when that happens for you. And what this means is that as we've also approached this mid-year period as well, it's only fitting then that you take the time perhaps to reflect on the past 6 months, especially since we've had a change in Ratu and Ketu, so the north and south nodes having moved into Aquarius and Leo, basically taking those over. Everyone should be experiencing to a certain degree a karmic shift, and being able to assess certain departments of their lives, which will vary according to your natal chart, using a different perspective or applying a different approach in order to understand this department of your life in a new light, perhaps to add on to existing knowledge from a more mature, grown level, shall we say. Pretty sure I could have worded things simpler, but so a lot of work that needs to be done. Work in general, right? So you might be busy in the workplace at this time and wondering, oh, when are you going to get a break? Well, that will be when the sun is full-blown in your sign around your birthday. So I don't know about you guys, but I am having the worst hay fever this year. One reason why I was hesitant to do this outside, but forgive the occasional sneeze. 2 of Swords. Eight of Cups. Okay. The 9 of Swords. I really do see you basically finally detaching yourself from a particularly uncomfortable situation that was causing a ton of anxiety and hell, to be quite frank. A state of purgatory, honestly, with this 9 of Swords here, and this is the kind of pain that never seems to end, and it's mental anguish, mental torture. So thankfully now, having already dealt with the brunt of this discomfort, you're walking into a situation that sees a lot of love come your way. So there's this promise of new beginnings being, arriving. However, not in the way that you may be anticipating at this time. So not in its traditional, not in the traditional sense of receiving love from another person, but perhaps coming to find a different appreciation in the roles that certain people play in your life, and how you've learned that history, your history perhaps of being in certain codependent relationships just hasn't ended up working out very well for you, and whether that is a result of investing too much emotion within the relationship that you literally become invested then. So your emotions become translated into more of a physical bodily need, almost as though you can become addicted to the kind of emotion that you receive from your significant others, your loved ones, your friends. And so this can also really be talking about platonic relationships. They don't have to be romantic in nature. They can also be a relationship with your family, and the kind of value that comes out of receiving this emotional, I'm going to call it knowledge, emotional knowledge that helps you grow and also endure. So endure certain dysfunctionalities. I say dysfunctionalities because I think it's broad enough to cover a wide range of things, so dysfunctionality, it could be in a person's routine, in perhaps you've been abandoning your health maybe recently. It can also be being unable to achieve a healthy work-life balance, or not being able to spend enough time growing your social circle. It can be a bunch of things, Cancer, that we're talking about here. But the idea is that you are finding new ways to rise above the discord that may have been occurring for the longest time now, that it's sort of blended in to your background. You've just gotten so used to it. It could also be, that part of your mind that is constantly reminding you perhaps of how this has just become a normal thing. Investing too much of your emotions, times, and feelings in people, only to come out of it feeling like you could have done without. But the best part about Cancer is that you do overfeel. We need those, and you thrive from the kind of emotions that other people really shy away from. And so a few people may have come and gone, exited your life as quickly perhaps as entering your life, because of how intimidating your emotional intensity can become. But right now, when you realize that your love for giving emotion and feeling doesn't have to end up turning into a codependent state of affairs, then you realize just how much better you can run your life and go with the flow of, work at your own pace in life, basically. by giving the people and the relationships that you have in your life that space and distance to grow independently, independent of yourself, independent of your intervention. Does that make any sense? Does anything I say make any sense? So we are rising above this Five of Pentacles here, and we're using all the love that we have so much of, all of the feelings and emotions that we have so much of, which will indeed, you know, come to a peak in July. We're using this to rise above the Five of Pentacles of feeling dejected, or making someone feel this way, perhaps, and finding a sense of independence and wealth in your own assets, your own resources, your own skills, your own your own ability to be everything you want to be without a person, you know, without needing anyone. So you can be that person who lives their life very successfully, very independently, that has, you know, people come and go a lot, very often. Or you may be invested in a job that kind of requires you to be this independent traveler. I don't know. Who is often expected to travel quite a lot for their job. Could be. And finding another way to use your emotions, capitalize on the good feelings, the good ideas, that the creative burst of inspiration that comes to you because of how much you can feel, and place that into overhauling, you know, the way that you treat work and the way that you apply any logical framework to your life. So again, what does that mean? So it is, what I'm trying to say is that you can use this to influence certain decisions that you make that affect you, that affect your daily grind, basically. It's disciplining yourself and listing the ground rules to how you want to live your life, and that includes everything. I want to make sure that I eat 3 meals a day at least. I want to make sure that I drink at least 2.5 liters of water a day. I need to start working out 2 to 3 times a week. You could say that, and start setting these goals, KPIs, turn them into KPIs and apply them to your life, essentially, and use that passion that you have to fuel your own growth that way. Oh dear. So we have the Devil card, which is also the sign of Capricorn, but doesn't have to be the sign of Capricorn. Here, this to me is just more grounded energy coming your way in terms of finding the roots of these codependent relationships, or at least starting to realize perhaps how many of these relationships you have hovering upon your life, in order to decide what to do with them. And with that, I get pulled back to this Two of Swords here, the first card that popped up in your reading. Maybe I should lower the screen so you guys can just see the cards. There's a potential blare. I'm sorry about that, but okay, so this Two of Swords here, where it's almost like a cutthroat decision needs to be made here, and it's one that needs to be, it's one that needs to happen rather quickly, that you know might be rather uncomfortable to deal with and hurt in the moment. It's kind of like ripping off a band-aid from a wound that's still trying to heal with this card here, but you know that getting it over and done with sooner rather than later will be better received, better for all parties involved. So this Devil card starts to make you more aware of the kind of relationships you've been having that have been inducing this Five of Pentacles here, which can also really mean that to some degree, and obviously for a lot of people perhaps watching this, the Five of Pentacles doesn't have to be something bad. It doesn't have to talk about neediness or being someone's crutch or them doing that for you, but it can really also just mean that you're in it together for the long run, for the long haul, and that nothing will prevent you from moving forward together, even if you find yourselves walking into any form of material trouble. And especially when it in combination with the Devil card here, which we can be talking about finances, can be talking about overspending, overindulgence, but that is not what I see for you. Ultimately, it is just simply the relationship that these two cards can have, depending on how you approach your personal situation. But I, in fact, just see you rising above and walking into a more independent state here, where you have what you need. Money is on the up and up, and can continue to grow that way for you. But you're also independent here. There's no one that you have to turn to anymore to consult on the decisions that you possibly have to make about your life, which may also involve the life of others as well. So you are more comfortable now, perhaps still feeling for this person, but from a distanced location, or a distanced feel to it. Again, this may not mean that you're not seeing your loved ones, but oh dear, what is this all about? Now, I really do feel that for a proportion of you who may still be reeling in this Nine of Swords state, even though that was not what came to me when I first did this reading. What came to me was honestly that you are successfully walking away from a state that was once like this, this is well into the past for me, or something that has been dragging out for such a long time that it's still crept into your present, and a few of you still have that mile extra to put up with before you really realize that you can't go any further with the way that you have been tolerating or putting up with this clash of giving too much, you know, giving and perhaps not receiving as much, or vice versa. And in comparison, you know, or not in comparison, but in conjunction also with this Knight of Wands, where it's like, hey, I'll give you all, like, here's my emotion. This is what I'm feeling for you. I'm giving it all to you. I'm giving you more than what the average person expects, because that's how much I want to show you I care for you, I love you, I respect you, I want to be your friend, I want blah 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 blah, to the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is just like, but yeah, thank you, thanks, but no thanks. You know, takes it and runs, moves on to his next quest, moves on to his next destination, whatever it is, next person he's going to meet, has more messages he needs to deliver to people at the speed of light, sort of thing. While the Knight of Cups, you know, is just left behind with a half full or half empty cup, depending on your view of life. Thinking, well, that's not fair. That's not cool. I mean, I gave him my time, my emotion. My emotions are my time, because I spend time thinking about other people. So even if I'm not with those people, they have my heart as well. They have part of my heart. And look what this Knight of Wands goes off and does. You know, takes all that feeling that I have, pretends like he or she gives a shit. Sorry, you know. Gives a hoot, and then ups and disappears. What am I supposed to do with that? And you realize that this has been a trend that has reoccurred time and time again, perhaps. And one that really needs to stop for your sake here. But of course, you don't want it to be an abrupt, you don't want anything to have an abrupt finality. So if you can both, and I don't even feel like I don't even feel like I'm really talking about a specific couple here, but rather your relationship with a lot of people in general, you know. It's we're ultimately here just trying to understand whether or not your definition of relationship should experience an overhaul. You just need to, you know, you need to scratch your current definition and replace it with one that works for you, your needs, and your goals, and your health, your mental stability, your emotional stability, your emotional grounding, so that you can have more time to really get what you need to get done at your pace. If that makes any sense. Not how I thought your reading was going to go, Cancer. Nonetheless, I still view this reading as rather positive, because even if you end on this 10 of Swords, you are ending on finality, which is like, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Endings being final. This is something that will cease to bother you come the end of July. So view the month of July as an opportunity for you to really channel all of that emotion, emotives. Here's why I said that. Channel any motivations you have that are driven by a lot of feeling and emotion, so emotives, in the direction of your own independent growth and even stability. And start digging out the insidious roots of all those codependent relationships that have just been piling upon you over the years now. And it's really, running a full check and a full assessment of all your current existing relationships that's going to get you to this state. So you know that it's going to require a lot of hard work, patience, a lot of detachment as well. And you will get it done. You will get it done. Okay, Cancer, so won't be dragging out your reading any further. Thank you so much for joining me. You can always let me know what you think in the comment section below, or leave me a thumbs up. That would be great. I appreciate that. And my contact details are also beneath in the description box if you feel the need to email me about anything. If you'd like to request to have a private session, you're more than welcome to do so. I have been struggling to get back to all the emails that have come my way, so I do apologize for a slight delay in that, but I do get around to answering all my emails, and that is a promise. So in the meanwhile, I wish you all a spectacular month of July, you guys. Take very good care of yourselves, and happy birthday to all my Cancers. For those of you who are early Cancer babies. So take good care of yourselves.